What if I told you the biggest threat to your productivity? It isn't your demanding boss or your endless to-do list. What if the real enemy is a secret war your brain is waging against itself every single night? This phenomenon that a staggering 62% of people now admit to experiencing. But here's the really shocking part. New research from Utrecht University is uncovering that it has almost nothing to do with laziness. It's a psychological rebellion. Yeah, it's a desperate cry for freedom from your own mind, and it's officially known as Revenge Bedtime Procrastination. Understanding this internal conflict is the key. It's the key to unlocking up to 10, maybe even 15 hours of high-quality, focused energy every single week. And this isn't about just trying harder. No, it's about a fundamental mental shift. So stay with me, because in this video, I'm going to reveal the 3 hidden brain triggers that fuel this self-sabotage, and I'll give you the 1-minute technique you can use tonight to finally win back your nights and, conquer your days. All right, let's get right into it. You know that moment? It's 11 p.m., maybe it's midnight, your eyes are heavy, every single cell in your body is just crying out for sleep, and you have an important meeting at 8 a.m. But yet, you find yourself opening your phone, you're scrolling through social media, or hitting next episode on some show you're not even that invested in anymore. Why? Why do we consciously do something we know we are going to regret just a few hours later? Well, for decades, we've been told this is just a failure of willpower or a lack of discipline, but that entire narrative is wrong. In fact, trying to solve this problem with more willpower is like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. This is Revenge Bedtime Procrastination, and the first thing you really have to understand is that it's an emotional act. It is not a logical one. Think of your day. For so many of us, it's just this relentless series of demands. From the moment you wake up, you're serving other people. It's your boss, your clients, your family. Your time is not your own. You're like a high-performing machine just executing tasks, meeting deadlines, solving problems, and there is just no room for you. So by the time the day is officially over, the kids are in bed, the last email is sent, you're exhausted, but you're also starved. You're starved for a moment of autonomy, a moment of freedom where no one is asking anything of you. And that right there, that is the revenge part. Your brain, specifically your subconscious mind, it feels cheated. It feels like it has worked all day with no reward, no personal time. So what does it do? Dramatic, it decides to steal that time back from the only place it can, from your sleep. It's a protest. Yeah, your mind is basically staging a rebellion against your own schedule. There was this fascinating 2019 study. It was in the journal Frontiers in Psychology, and it found a direct correlation between high job demands with low autonomy and an increase in bedtime procrastination. Insightful. The less control you have during the day, the more desperately you will cling to it at night. Wow, it's like an assembly line worker, someone who has been doing the same repetitive controlled task for 8 straight hours. When that final bell rings, do they go straight home to rest for the next day? Rhetorical. No, of course not. They go to a bar, they meet friends, they do something, anything that feels like it's their own choice. You are that worker, and your late night scrolling is just your brain's desperate attempt to feel free. And the crazy thing is, the activities we choose, they're rarely even that fulfilling, right? It's mindless scrolling or binge-watching, online shopping. And why? Well, because these activities are super low effort and they provide an immediate, even if it's small, dopamine hit. It's basically the psychological equivalent of junk food. It feels good for a second, but it offers zero real nourishment. So the first step to solving this, it isn't to beat yourself up about it. It's to have some compassion and recognize the behavior for what it actually is. It's a completely understandable, albeit, counterproductive, cry for help from a brain that just feels trapped. But this thoughtful psychological driver is only half of the story. The why is crucial, yeah, but the how, that's where the battle is truly lost. What is actually happening inside your skull is like a neurological civil war, and your tired brain is set up to lose every single time. We'll explore that neurological trap next. So we've established that your brain is seeking revenge, but how does it win the argument against the logical part of you that knows you need to sleep? Well, the answer lies in this fascinating neurological tug-of-war. It's between two key parts of your brain. Your prefrontal cortex, that's the area right behind your forehead. Think of it as your CEO of your brain. It's the part that's responsible for long-term planning, for rational decision-making and impulse control. It's that little voice that says, hey, we should go to bed now so we can be effective tomorrow. Now think of your limbic system. It's located deep within the brain, and it's like your inner toddler. Energetic, it's ancient, and it's completely driven by emotion, pleasure, and immediate gratification. It does not care about tomorrow's meeting. It wants a cookie, and it wants it now. And the cookie in this case, well, it's the dopamine rush from another YouTube video, or, one more level of a game. Throughout a normal day, your CEO, your prefrontal cortex, is in charge. It keeps that inner toddler in check. But, and here's the crucial detail that most people miss, self-control is not an unlimited resource, it's a muscle. And after a long day of making decisions and resisting temptations and managing stress, that muscle is completely exhausted. This is a real measurable state. It's called decision fatigue or ego depletion. So by 11 p.m., your CEO is like slumped over his desk, is barely able to function. Dramatic, and that is when the inner toddler sees its chance. It kicks open the boardroom door, it climbs onto the table, and it starts screaming for what it wants. And with the CEO too weak to resist, the toddler takes the controls. This isn't just a metaphor, this is neurology. Functional MRI scans show that when we are sleep deprived or mentally fatigued, activity in the prefrontal cortex measurably decreases. At the same time, activity in the limbic system, particularly the amygdala, which is the fear and emotion center, it ramps up. You are literally neurologically primed to make poor, short-sighted, emotional decisions at the end of the day. And this creates the most vicious, self-perpetuating cycle you can imagine. You procrastinate going to bed because you lack control during the day. Okay, that leads to sleep deprivation. Then the sleep deprivation weakens your prefrontal cortex, which decimates your self-control for the next day. And that makes you even more susceptible to bedtime procrastination the following night. It's a downward spiral. It's a debt of sleep that you keep taking out a high-interest loan on night after night. You're not just tired, you're fundamentally impairing the very part of your brain that is responsible for stopping the cycle. And this is why just be more disciplined is the worst possible advice. You're trying to use a muscle that has already been worked to failure. It's biologically impossible. If this neurological battle sounds painfully familiar, and if breaking down this science is giving you a bit of an aha moment, could you do me a quick favor and hit that like button right now? It's a tiny click for you, but it really tells the algorithm that this is valuable information, and it helps it reach more people who are stuck in this exact same cycle. And if you want to keep diving deep into the science of how your mind works to unlock your full potential, make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell. I promise I will deliver actionable, evidence-based insights, not just, fluff. Your support is what allows me to make these videos. So, thank you for that. Okay, so we've covered the psychological why, that rebellion for autonomy, and we've covered the neurological how, the tired CEO versus the emotional toddler. But what is the real cost of this nightly battle? It's far, far worse than just feeling groggy in the morning. Let's talk about the hidden costs, the ones that are quietly sabotaging your health and your success. When we think about the consequences of staying up late, we usually just think about being tired, right? We think, oh, I'll just power through with a few extra cups of coffee. But this is like putting a piece of tape over your car's flashing check engine light. You're ignoring a cascade of catastrophic failures happening under the hood. So the first and most immediate cost is hormonal. When you chronically deprive yourself of sleep, your body floods with cortisol. That's the primary stress hormone. A 2022 study in the journal Sleep showed that even just a few nights of insufficient sleep lead to elevated cortisol levels the entire next day. This means you're starting your day in a physiological state of fight or flight. You're more anxious, you're more irritable, and your body is in a constant state of low-grade emergency. And this isn't just a feeling, it's a chemical reality. Second, you are sabotaging your emotional intelligence. The part of the brain that's responsible for emotional regulation, that prefrontal cortex, is the same part that gets knocked offline by fatigue. This is why, after a short night's sleep, small annoyances feel like major crises. A mildly critical email from your boss, it feels like a personal attack. Someone cutting you off in traffic, it feels like an act of war. You lose your emotional buffer. You react instead of respond. And this can damage relationships at work and at home in ways that a cup of coffee just can't fix. But perhaps the most terrifying cost, especially for professionals and creatives, is the direct assault on your cognitive performance. Matthew Walker, he's a renowned neuroscientist, author of Why We Sleep, has shown through extensive research that a single night of sleeping only 6 hours can reduce your cognitive and physical performance to the level of someone who has been legally drunk. Let me just repeat that. 6 hours of sleep can make you perform like you're drunk. And many people on this revenge procrastination cycle, they're getting far, far less than that. And furthermore, sleep is when your brain cleans itself out. During deep sleep, the glymphatic system in your brain becomes 10 times more active. It's flushing out metabolic byproducts and toxins, including beta-amyloid plaques, which are famously linked to Alzheimer's disease. So when you skip sleep, you're literally skipping your brain's nightly janitorial service. The trash it piles up. So this isn't about being less productive. This is about actively making yourself less intelligent, less emotionally stable, and more stressed. The revenge you think you're getting on your busy day is in reality a direct attack on your future self. You're just stealing from the capital of your own well-being to pay for a fleeting moment of cheap entertainment. So what do? I mean, we can't just magically create more hours in the day. This is where we stop fighting the brain and we start negotiating with it. The solution isn't about forcing yourself to bed. It's about strategically scheduling leisure appetizers into your day. Instead of waiting for a 3-hour binge watch session at midnight, schedule a non-negotiable 15-minute break at 4 p.m. to read a novel, or maybe a 20-minute walk without your phone after dinner. These small, scheduled doses of autonomy and pleasure, they feed your limbic system. They satisfy that inner toddler's need for freedom before it gets desperate. So by the time 11 p.m. rolls around, your brain doesn't feel as cheated. The urge for revenge is dramatically reduced because it's already been given small rewards throughout the day. And this lowers the stakes of that nightly battle and gives your tired prefrontal cortex a fighting chance. It's a simple 1-minute change to your calendar, just scheduling that small break that can completely reframe your relationship with the night. So, let's bring this all together. That nightly urge to stay up late, it's not a character flaw. It's a form of protest from a brain that's starved for autonomy. It's a neurological battle where your tired inner CEO is no match for your emotional toddler. And the cost? Wow. The cost isn't just tiredness. It's a full-scale assault on your hormonal balance, your emotional stability, and your cognitive function. The solution isn't more willpower. It's more self-compassion and smarter strategy. It's giving your brain those leisure appetizers so it doesn't feel the need to feast on your sleep. Now I have a question for you. What is the one go-to activity you find yourself doing when you know you should be sleeping? Is it scrolling Instagram, watching YouTube, or something else entirely? Share it in the comments below. I think you'll be amazed at how universal this experience really is, and seeing that you're not alone, that's the first step. Thank you for your time and attention. Now go schedule that break for tomorrow.